Hello, welcome back to the Advent alphabet of self-care. And today we've reached P, and I've chosen to speak about peace, which as soon as I started researching, I began to wonder if I'd bitten off more than I could chew. Because it obviously, we think of peace, it's a grand old Christmas theme, but it tends to be, peace on earth, goodwill to men, and you sort of imagine the subject might be about international peace. But I think for us, what we need to do is we need to bring it down to an individual level, because it's only when we start having peace in our own life and our own relationships that we can begin to hope for peace at a greater level. So how do we bring peace into our own lives, and how do we ensure that we learn how to resolve conflict when we're in a difficult situation with somebody? And what I'd like to talk about is a particular approach called non-violent communication that's been pioneered by someone called Marshall Rosenberg. Rosenberg talks about what he calls giraffe communication, and he's chosen to speak about it being like a giraffe because giraffes have the largest hearts of all mammals. And non-violent communication is partly about speaking from the heart. There's 4 stages to non-violent communication. And the first of these is to really observe what's going on inside us when we're in a difficult situation. And to be able to communicate that, but in a way that's free of evaluations of the other person. So it's really important to step away from judging people and to be able to say, when this happens, when I see this or I hear this, you're able to then go on to the next part of the conversation, which is I feel. And in this, you actually talk about how this particular situation is affecting your feelings and how you respond to this situation in terms of your feelings. And so it's really important to be able to own our own feelings, to recognise that our feelings are our responsibility, and it's up to us to do something about our feelings, and in a way that isn't judgmental of the other person. But the next stage of non-violent communication is about recognising that both we and the other person have needs. And there's nothing wrong with having needs. We're all human, we all have human needs. But it's about recognising that we also can express what those needs are. But also, and it's very important, to recognise that the other person has needs too. And non-violent communication is really about that ability to empathise with the other person. It's not about trying to exercise power and coming from a place of being superior to the other person, even if what they're doing is really harming us. It's about being able to recognise what the other person has to communicate to us as well. And then the final part of non-violent communication is a clear request. So it's stating actually how our needs can be met and what we need to see happen. Now, I'm sort of aware when I'm talking about harm that obviously there's people who are involved in abusive relationships where the other person is harming them. And it's obviously really important to keep yourself safe. But the non-violent communication is a way of helping people to communicate their needs and also to recognise what these needs are and to act on those needs if they need to. And so if you're sort of interested in that, there's various information that you can find out, and Marshall Rosenberg's got a classic book called Non-Violent Communication that might help you to know a little bit more about how to communicate your needs and how to listen to the other person. I hope that's of interest and of help to you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.